and welcome to the Wednesday, February 17th edition of the Islandstats Sports Brief. I'm Earl Baisley. During the show, a walk down memory lane, guests Randy Horton and Donald Dane took us on a journey. Horton took us back to how it all got started for him.
I first started playing when I was in primary school at West End, and I remember when I was in I think it would have been like standard 3 or something like that. They had me playing with the standard 7 boys. So I don't know whether it was just because of my size or what. They pushed me along, and I took a lot of bangs. I tell you, when I was a little boy, learning how to play with this big fellas. And then from there, it was of course Berkeley. I played at the Berkeley Institute, and from the Berkeley. It was then the Somerset Colts, the Bermuda Junior Football League. We had the Somerset Colts, and I think it would have been 1961 or 60 or 61, I remember. Was it 61, Dick? We played in that Bermuda Junior Football Association League. We won every game. I'll never forget that. First year, because we won every game, and we had 2 goals scored against us that year. And one was an earned goal, and one was a penalty.
Wow.
So that was a pretty memorable year. And then from there, of course, the Somerset Colts, Conrad Simons was the coach of the Somerset Colts, and the Colts we went into the BFL-B division. And so we were a team in the B division as well as the West End Rovers were. In that year we won the BFL-B division.
Dane spoke about the person who influenced his life.
There's but one person, Edward Deshawn. He was the principal of the high school I attended.
Okay.
You still okay? I've lost your picture. That's why I wondered. He was the principal of a high school I attended. I got in trouble there before he was here. Asked me to leave. The acting principal, and after a year or so, I decided, well, I'm going back to school. This doesn't make sense to me. And so when I was about 14, I went back to school, and Mr. Dejean was there, Edward Dejean. And the fellow who asked me to leave was the vice principal, and he wanted to know why I was back. And Mr. Dejean asked, "Who is this?" And he told him. So he said, "No, let him stay." And so this is how I stayed at Howard Academy, and then worked hard, went abroad to school, went to Teachers College, and it was Edward Dejean who steadied me.
During the regular COVID-19 press conference, Premier David Burke stated that Stage 4 for contact sports will be delayed further.
The Minister of Health stated at our press conference 2 weeks ago that saliva screening has been ongoing since September of last year for Bermuda Hospital Board staff and long-term care staff and residents. We further expanded that to essential hospitality workers at the beginning of the outbreak, where we were able to capture some cases. In order to be proactive and ensure we remain able to detect any latent cases of the virus which may be in the community, we will be beginning enhanced community and occupational saliva screening, which will start this weekend, beginning with local sports teams. The screening program will then expand to include other groups that the Ministry of Health identifies as necessary to screen. The government is keen to get sports to return to play in full, and we appreciate everyone's patience as the country battled the pandemic and got the latest outbreak under control. Contact sports can, however, be a high-risk setting when it comes to COVID transmission. So we have to be cautious in allowing return to play in case there are any latent cases in the community that we have not detected, which could lead to renewed outbreaks. Saliva testing to participate in close contact training will commence this week, starting with the sports with the largest proportion of registrants. On Thursday and Friday, the Ministry of Youth, Culture and Sports informs me that we'll be testing the football national team's players and domestic clubs next week. Volleyball, which has 100% registration, will test on Saturday and Sunday, and next week, further sports will be rolled out. The government encourages all close contact sport athletes age 11 years or older wishing to participate in Stage 3 training to register for saliva COVID testing as soon as possible so that a testing date can be set up for your sport. While we had initially contemplated commencing Stage 4 of sports this week, due to the slow take-up of registrations and the delay in testing, we will have to wait a little bit longer for Stage 4 contact sports competitive play to recommence. Realistically, it would not be prudent for us to allow contact sports to go to Stage 4 with only a small proportion of athletes tested. So I encourage all contact sports players age 11 and older to register today. Your sporting body has sent the link for your registration, and it is a very quick and easy process. And as I has indicated, it is saliva screening. Because I was talking to a footballer last evening who was worried about the nasal pharyngeal swab, and I said, no, this is a saliva screening. Quick, painless, spit in the cup, move on.
The Bermuda Golf Professional Association members took to the Port Royal Golf Course for their professional medal round, with Dwayne Pearman winning after his 4 over par 75. Pearman will finish 4 strokes ahead of second place finisher Paul Adams, with Fulton Smith finishing third after an 11 over par 82. Brian Morris and Derek Douglas finished tied 5th at 12 over par 83. Nucky Wells and his Bristol City teammates hosted Reading under the BS3 lights in the Skyback Championships, but they would fall 2-0. Following the match, Dean Holden was relieved of his Bristol City manager duties with immediate effect. Dean Crichton was not part of the Watford squad that travelled to Preston and came away with a 1-0 win. Justin Donowa was an unused substitute as his Solihull Moors teammate defeated Aldershot 3-1 on the road. Jonte Smith came off the bench in the 68th minute, but he could not prevent Woking from going down 2-0 on the road against Wrexham. Mia Fisher and her number 4th ranked UCLA women's soccer teammates recorded its second shutout in 3 games, defeating San Diego 3-0. Arkansas Associate Head Basketball Coach David Patrick watched as his red-hot Arkansas men's basketball team defeated the Florida Gators 75-64 in Fayetteville. And finally, join Islandstats.com this evening for the Islandstats.com Sports Talk show at 8 p.m. The panel will be speaking with golfer Brian Morris. They will also review the Stage 4 competitive policy to return to sport for government as well. And that's a look at the Wednesday, February 17th edition of the Islandstats Sports Brief. I'm Earl Baston.